A Mongolian farmer discovers hundreds of his sheep have been walking in a circle continuously for 12 days. So what's the deal? In the viral clip, hundreds of sheep circled a spot in a farm together, while other sheep surrounding them seemed unfazed. Hey Wanderers! Welcome back to another Foolish Wanderers podcast, the podcast about anything and everything. Today, we're going to be talking about a weird sheep phenomenon that Kendra found on the internet.
Woo! Yes, but first, I wanted to talk about something from Reddit that I saw that went kind of viral.
What'd you find?
So, I think we've discussed a story from, or an article from this page before, but it's from Am I the A-hole on Reddit?
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah, I've heard stuff.
Yep. So I've talked about something from this page before from, I think it was the Funko Pop husband. Do you remember that when we talked about that? The husband guy was like collecting Funko Pops and he had an addiction and he had thousands of them. Oh, no. And his wife was telling him, like, if you don't stop, like, we're going to have a problem.
After thousands, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, and she was like, you have to stop. And he's like, am I the a-hole for, like, wanting to keep collecting, like, choosing Funko Pops over my marriage? Ooh. And the resounding, like, the people in, like, the comments were like, yes.
At that point, yeah.
You are.
Reevaluate, yeah.
Yep. So that one went viral.
Okay.
And this one is going viral right now.
Okay.
So, here we go. Am I the a-hole for asking my wife to respect my title, a pilot? Okay? So this original one was removed. So that's just going to tell you, like, foreshadowing about how the comment section went on this one. Okay?
I can picture it. Okay.
Yes. Okay, here we go. I need the opinions of AV geeks and pilots on a matter involving my wife. I am completely serious and I need help. In all caps.
Sounds dramatic. Okay.
Yep. My wife and I, together for 5 years, married for 2, no kids, have an amazing, happy relationship. I can't recall a single time we've ever argued to the point of a breakup or divorce. This issue, however, is causing me to reconsider the health of our relationship. Since my wife and I have been together, I have worked as a manager for a restaurant chain. I am an extremely passionate aviation enthusiast in my free time. I have spent thousands of dollars on flight textbooks, sim gear, and even built my own A330 setup. I have never actually flown a plane or started flight training, but I have considered it for a long time. Even though my skills are not a career, I consider myself an adept or possibly more knowledgeable than the average pilot. That being said, here's where the problem arises. My wife and I were invited to one of her male coworkers' house for a barbecue. My wife is a senior software tech for a COVID startup. She's worked there since 2020, a lucky catch after she was laid off from her previous job due to the virus. It was my first time meeting many of her now close coworkers due to COVID and from working from home. I had assumed she talked about me before, but as we were cycling through introductions, I became less sure. We make our way down the line to the host of the party, a new male hire that she has grown platonically close with. We exchange casual conversation and host asked what I do for a living. My wife chimes in with, he manages a insert fast food chain. It certainly comes with some benefits. I'm assuming she's referring to free food. So she does that in a voice that implied nothing was wrong with what she said. I very quickly corrected her and told him that I am a pilot. My wife already knows how insecure I am about my job and how I'd much rather be introduced by my hobby.
No.
I've earned the title of pilot through my 500 plus hours on the sim and thousands of dollars put into my craft. I think it is incredibly disrespectful for her not to acknowledge my skills and training. Just because I don't have the title of pilot on an overpriced piece of paper doesn't mean I'm not a pilot. I laughed it off with him, told him under my breath that my wife was often forgetful, which I'm sure he's realized from working with her. Ooh.
You-
He seemed to brush it off casually. At this point, I'm fuming, but I don't go much farther than exchanging some nasty glances at my wife for the rest of the night. As we pack into the car to leave, the argument starts. She feels as if I don't deserve my title as a pilot because I'm not professional. I told her she is completely insensitive to the work I've done and she will never understand what it's like to study so much. She's currently on the couch as I type this. Am I really the a-hole for asking to be respected?
Yes.
Yeah, so the comments are over like whelmingly you're crazy, like you're insane.
Yes. Yes. There's a
Yeah,
big difference. Like, I'm not gonna go to somebody that claims to be a doctor if they've just done some
like
reading in a
played
book.
Operation.
Yeah,
Like
you're not
I've
gonna
played 500 hours plus of the kids game Operation.
like, that does
I'm a
not count.
doctor.
No. I feel so bad for your wife. I am just, like
Like Katrina, I'm a race car driver because I've played 20 hours of Mario Kart. I'm a professional race car driver
Where do you drive? Like, in a mall or something? Or on fake rainbows?
on Rainbow Ridge.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go.
So, and then people in the comments were like, as a farmer, my fields are in Stardew Valley. I agree with you.
But that's exactly what it is. It's an
Yep.
imaginary thing.
Yep.
You have to actually have training, otherwise you're not a pilot. There's a difference. Because I'm
Yes.
not gonna go up in a plane with you if you have never flown before. We're
An
gonna end
actual
up over a mountain
plane.
and disappear.
Yes.
Like, no. And I feel so bad for your wife to take you to a barbecue, which you like you got invited to graciously, and then you made the whole thing awkward just because you were butthurt in your mind. You're very insecure about your job.
Yes. Oh my god. I like this one comment in here. It says, he's requoting from the post, but it's
Okay.
just because I don't have the title of a pilot on an overpriced piece of paper doesn't mean I'm not a pilot. And then it says, actually, that's exactly what it means.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh.
Like, I
Yeah,
know, like,
so
for, like, design and stuff, you can go to online school, but that's drastically different than putting someone else's lives in your hands with a giant piece of machinery. Like, you need actual flight training.
mhm.
You need actual medical
Oh
training.
my god, yeah. That'd be like Mr. Kendra saying he's a civil engineer because he's played like countless hours of city skylines.
Or like The Sims or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
like
It's a big difference.
it's like, yeah, no, I want to be introduced. I'm actually a, yeah, no. So, anyways, I thought it was funny because I don't know, the ones that are just in the fun
Mhm.
like that one, the pilot, the
Yep.
fake pilot, and the Funko Pops, I just get a rise out of it every
Oh,
time.
man.
It's just so funny.
When you started talking about Funko Pops, it just made me think of the couple in court when they divided their Beanie Babies.
God.
It's like I think it was a
I
while
used to
ago.
see that every once in a while, that meme of them in the pile where they're in the courtroom and there's just like pile. They both have piles and they're going through the one in the middle. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, it just makes you think of that. 'Cause
Oh,
that's
Jesus.
ridiculous.
It's fun.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love a good Funko Pop, but 1,000 of them is a bit
Breaking up
much.
your marriage because of them, because you have an addiction.
At that point, it's an addiction, yes.
And then
Yeah.
I remember the post was she wanted him to cut down. She was only gonna allow him like what was it, like $100 a month to spend on Funko Pops.
That's a lot.
And he was like, I mean, I can't remember, but it was a lot of money. Like I can't
Yeah.
remember the exact amount that she was going to allow, but it was a lot of money
To
for
have a
Funko Pops each month.
like,
And
just one is like 20 bucks.
he was just like, that is an insane thing for me to try to do. Keep it under like $100 for
That's sad. You
Yeah.
need to reevaluate some things
Reevaluate your priorities, people.
and go to therapy. That's probably what is more needed. Oh my
Yep.
goodness.
Anyway, we're gonna get to something more believable now than
Oh
this
man.
pilot wannabe.
Crazy pilots. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna be talking about this strange, viral phenomenon that happened. This originally happened in November of 2022.
Okay.
So, but it's going around again. I've been seeing it on Twitter.
Ooh.
But it's basically the seemingly strange phenomenon of a flock of sheep walking in a circle for what has been reported to be 12 days in Mongolia may have a very simple explanation.
That's a
So,
long time though for them to be walking in the same circle.
yeah, and it's
A long
creepy.
time.
Like, if you look up the video, I have pictures posted here on the slides, but it's creepy looking.
Yeah, I'll try to leave some links, Wonders, if you want to take a look at the videos going around too, so you guys can check it out.
It's super creepy. So this video was posted to the Twitter account of the Chinese state-affiliated People's Daily last in November, and it said, "The Great Sheep Mystery. Hundreds of sheep walk in a circle for over 10 days in northern China's Inner Mongolia. The sheep are healthy, and the reason for the weird behavior is still a mystery." Yeah, so this happened on a farm in the China-controlled territory, and even though it is known that sheep have the tendency to mimic the behavior of others in the flock, the same kind of movement for such a long period of time, and in like a synchronized manner, like appear bizarre. Like,
So-
it's weird. It's
It is.
creepy. It
Did
looks
they
like
sleep or eat or anything, or did they just walk?
I can't remember. The farmer person said they were healthy and fine. So
Okay.
I don't know. So so it was reported the sheep owner, Miss Meow, it's Miao. She
Okay.
claimed a few sheep started before the whole flock joined. Like, Miss Meow has 34 sheep pens, but only pen 13 took up the strange behavior. So that I thought was freaky.
It's just the one specific spot.
And it was pen 13.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Some devil numbers. Okay, so at the time, the media outlet said the cause of the behavior was a mystery. So the internet obviously was, quick to provide their own answers.
Oh yes.
From, suggesting aliens or that the sheep have entered a death spiral. I looked into it, it's not a thing.
Okay.
While others suggest it merely like sheep doing what sheep do, and like they just follow the leader.
For 10
right?
days, 10 plus days. Yeah.
Which is weird.
Can when you said aliens, it made me think of there's apparently so there's been ball UFOs, flying around all over the internet, see videos of these balls flying around. Well, now there's apparently, I think it was in Canada, there was an oblong pill-shaped one.
Isn't that Alaska?
Maybe it's somewhere up there.
There
They
two?
shot it
There
down.
was one in Alaska that we shot down, and then one in Canada that they had to call in our Air Force or whatever to come shoot down.
Maybe. I didn't hear about the two, I just heard about the one. But yeah, apparently no one's been covering it, but they know that it was a thing. And they could see there's videos of people freaking out because there's this shining object and then jets following it, basically. It's weird.
There's one in China right now, I thought that.
Is there?
Yeah,
Okay.
when this episode gets released, I'm sure it will have been shot down or something.
Oh,
but
yeah.
maybe there'll be more information released. But I mean, I did watch the Pentagon, the defense, whoever speaks for us, from the Pentagon. They always seem like they never want to call it a UFO.
What is the other thing they call it? It's the
I don't know. They always want to use another word for it. They just dance around the term UFO. They never want to use it because it just automatically makes us think aliens, which
Yeah, there was one shot down over Canada for sure. Yeah, it says high altitude object. That's what they called it 2 days ago.
High altitude object.
It says Friday, and then so the article about the one in Canada came out today, which is Sunday. So things are getting weird.
Things are getting weird. Will they finally admit that there's aliens? And no.
Didn't they already kind of do that? Release a bunch of unidentified audio?
Yeah, they did.
Stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you remember, like, they did it when something else, like another big news story was happening, so, like, no one really covered it?
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's a good time to do it. Okay, no one will
Yes.
care.
Yeah,
We
no one will
admitted it.
care, no one will cover it, yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay,
What were we
sheep.
talking about? The sheep?
Sheep.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, back to the sheep. Yeah, sheep going around in a circle, weird, whatever. We're gonna get into it.
Okay.
So, a more plausible explanation was the sheep were suffering from oh my god, I gotta look this up.
Listeriosis?
Listeriosis. Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Thank you, Katrina. Are you a doctor? Or have you just played a lot of Operation?
I played a lot of video games. I'm pretty qualified.
Okay, yeah. Dr. Katrina. Thank you, Dr. Katrina. I concur that it's listeriosis, spelled Listeriosis, which is a neurological infection caused by a bacteria commonly found in cattle feed and soil, and more often in rotting vegetable matter and mud. So, the Listeria monocytogenes bacteria caused an asymmetrical infection in the brainstem, which can result in one side of the animal's face becoming paralyzed and incessant circling, earning it the nickname circling disease. It's called circling disease because affected animals walk compulsively in a circle, or like another pattern I've seen.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
I can see that if like a few of them got sick and the rest just kind of joined in with them.
Mm-hmm. However, there are a number of giveaways that circling disease is not behind the behavior seen in the video. Okay. According to Andrew Fisher, a professor of cattle and sheep production medicine at the University of Melbourne, Australia. Okay. They'd show a variety of circling and other neurological conditions, and they'd get quite sick. Some would die, Professor Fisher said. The way it usually manifests is not in half the flock. It's sort of between 1 and 10% might be affected.
Oh.
So animals suffering from listeriosis?
Yeah, there you go.
Also, thank you, doctor. Also, don't move in concentric circles, but lull in their own pattern. So according to the Merck Manual, the Merck Manual is kind of neat. It's like a vet dictionary.
Ooh, okay.
So according to the Merck Manual, in sheep and goats with listeriosis, death usually occurs within 24 to 48 hours of symptoms appearing. So the sheep can't...
Scary.
Yeah, that's scary. But like the sheep in the video couldn't have had it because they did that for 10 to 12 days. They walked in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
So
is it still going or did it stop finally?
It stopped.
Okay. They all just dropped.
I mean, it stopped. I mean, it's kind of hard to know because like it was like the Twitter video was from like the Chinese people, like the people of China's Twitter feed, and you know, over there they're kind of more restrictive on what information comes out.
Fair, yeah.
So yeah. So Matt Bell, an agricultural scientist at Hartpury University in England, doesn't necessarily think the mystery is a hoax. He told Newsweek that after sheep are cooped up in a pen for extended lengths of time, they might grow frustrated and start pacing in a circle. This is a common symptom seen in wild animals held in captivity, especially big cats. It's known as zoochosis. Zoochosis?
Zoochosis. Yeah.
Thank you. Are you also like an English major, or like did you read a lot of Shakespeare? Oh, you just listen to zoochosis?
It like pops up every once in a while, like on TikTok, like a
zoochosis does?
Just like random animals and zoos, like you hear words and then
You're a zookeeper?
Yes, in my free time.
Wow.
I do a lot of things.
And a zookeeper. It's pretty impressive.
Played a lot of simulators. Okay, continue.
Damn, your resume keeps getting better.
I know.
Okay, so back to zoochosis, not zoochosis. So zoochosis, it can lead to repetitive behavior that doesn't seem to serve any purpose. So once a herding animal starts acting this way, it might even catch on like some weird contagion, like a social contagion.
Mhm.
So then the other sheep join as they flock animals and bond or join their friends, Bell explains. So according to UK Metro, the owner of the sheep in Inner Mongolia noticed more and more individuals joining the ring as the days went on. This supports Bell's explanation. And yet no other pen of sheep on the same property was acting this way, according to news reports. It was only this one group, in pen 13.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's like, ooh, do 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 do. What's the what's the theme song?
Oh, to X-Files?
Yeah.
I don't know, but like we'd definitely get
Yeah, I know I can't
copyright
put it
struck.
in.
So do your fake X-Files one.
I have to think of what it is now. It's like
What, your fake X-Files one? So the endless ring of ambling sheep is reminiscent of another odd event that was captured last year, so 2021, in East Sussex. So images from this time show a flock of sheep just standing still and calm within a perfectly formed circle.
That's scarier.
That's scarier.
Ew.
Look up that one. Look up like sheep standing in a circle, like Sussex, and that photo is super creepy.
Oh no. I
But
see it. Oh.
it's super creepy. But in that particular case, however, it turned out that the owner of the sheep had sprinkled the livestock's food in rings, causing the flock to group in a sphere. So that's why it wasn't aliens, it wasn't the devil, it was just the farmer doing a thing.
Okay, making an art sculpture.
Yeah. So that made me look up like other instances of animals walking in circles and why they kind of do that.
Mm-hmm.
So groups of horses, ants, and even orcas have been caught on video moving in circles. One possible explanation for this behavior is that the animals are exhibiting a form of animal mass hysteria. So mass hysteria, also known as mass psychogenic illness, is a phenomenon that occurs when a group of people or animals exhibit similar physical or emotional symptoms due to a shared belief or fear. It can be caused by a variety of factors, including social isolation, which we talked about, stress, and the presence of a perceived threat. So that made me think of, I can't remember if it's elephants or rhinoceros. Was it rhinoceroses or rhinoceri?
Yeah. I don't
Whatever.
know.
But that makes me think of, I can't remember who it is, but that group, when they are like they're being threatened by a predator, they'll put the babies in the center, and then the parents and the elders and adults will all circle like around the babies to protect the babies.
I think reindeer do it too, because it's in the Frozen 2 movie, and people were like freaking out about it.
We'll get into the reindeer. Okay. We'll talk about them later, okay? That's a little bit more weird.
Okay.
What they do.
Awesome.
They're doing like Cirque du Soleil stuff, like the reindeer are doing Cirque du Soleil things.
Okay.
And then like the elephants are just doing like a Shriner circus act. Like it's really basic, anyone can do it, but like the reindeer are doing a Cirque du Soleil thing, like Vegas show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in the case of the animals exhibiting this circular behavior, it is possible that they are reacting to some kind of stressor in their environment. For example, horses may be reacting to changes in their surroundings, such as the presence of a predator or the introduction of a new group of animals. So ants may be reacting to a change in their habitat or the presence of a food source. So orcas may be reacting to changes in their social structure or the presence of a perceived threat. It is also possible that the animals are exhibiting this behavior as a form of social bonding or communication. For example, horses are known to engage in circular movements as a way of establishing dominance within their herd. Ants may be engaging in this behavior as a way of communicating the location of a food source or other resources. And orcas may be using this behavior as a form of social bonding or a way of establishing their place within the group.
Interesting. There's a lot of different reasons why they walk in circles or go in circles.
And they don't really know either. Like scientists don't really know.
Huh. Okay.
Like if they're interested in this, like a good thing to look up. It's way beyond my understanding. But, like, look up swarm behavior.
Okay.
And like they're like whoever's doing this, like they're getting into physics, AI, like all this weird stuff way over my pay grade, way over our toe dip in the water that we do here.
Okay.
Like, but it is interesting.
Have you seen like I don't know if it's all ants or just like red ants or whatever, but when it rains or floods, they can form masses of ants, and it's just like a
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a little pile of ants that float down the river.
Mm-hmm. They talk about that in the swarm mentality thing.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's creepy.
It's
So even
creepy.
like even if you like flood out a red ant or like a fire ant colony, they'll come back because they just
Mm-hmm.
barge together.
Yeah, super weird. No one knows like it's crazy. That brings us into reindeer cyclones. Thank you, Katrina.
Yeah, I'll go.
So reindeer cyclones, like you gotta look up the video. It's weird and crazy. I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like a moving like hurricane made out of like reindeer,
It's
but they're
reindeer.
like in like they make like a perfect pattern.
Weird,
Like
yeah. It's this little gift that Kendra has. It's like basically thousands of reindeer. They're running basically like she said, like a hurricane. If you look at like the top down or like the what's it called from the radar map of a hurricane, like how the cyclone moves, that's exactly what they're doing.
like it's organized chaos. Like it's so weird.
There you go, yeah, it's a good word.
So, Vikings hunting reindeer in Norway were once confounded by reindeer cyclones. A threatened herd would literally run circles around the hunters, making it nearly impossible to target a single animal.
That'd be terrifying too, just having these like 100-pound animals running around you. Be cool, but scary.
I'd be scared. And then I'd be like, maybe it was cool when I survived.
I guess that was a cool thing if I wasn't so threatened. Terrified.
So, on a PBS documentary called Wild Ways of the Vikings, a program about Vikings and the wilderness they inhabited around like AD 1000.
Okay.
So, they captured aerial footage of a reindeer cyclone, and they showed like a reenactment of a Viking hunt intermixed with real footage of reindeer herds. So, like
cool.
what they do in like the History Channel, if you know, like they do the reenactment things.
That's cool.
So, reindeer were important to the Vikings for their meat, hide, antlers, and bones, according to the film. So, faced with the spinning reindeer stampede, any predator, wolf, bear, or human would have had like a very tough time targeting and overpowering a single reindeer, making this a formidable defense strategy, according to PBS. So, this behavior is also practiced by reindeer kept in corrals, occurring in groups of at least 20 to 25 animals. So researchers wrote in a 2002 study published in the journal Rangifer, Rangiffer. So penned reindeer formed cyclones and were observed to run invariably in a counterclockwise direction, the scientists reported.
Is it always a counterclockwise direction?
To my knowledge that I've seen for the examples, yeah, I don't know why.
Interesting.
I don't think they know why either.
Probably not.
Yeah,
Probably don't have a textbook of how to run in a cyclone, but you know.
I don't know, but yeah, I thought that was super weird. So yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
That's what I got.
I love how we went from sheep to ants and orcas to reindeer. It's interesting how so many like species do the same thing, a self-preservation thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It is super weird. I mean, the sheep were doing it because the sheep were bored.
For 12 days. We're
For
bored.
12 days.
This is what we can do. We're running in a circle for fun. Look what you did to us.
Just give me an iPad or something.
Give me a boil of cheese or something.
Give me something to do. Yeah, and the rest, so the sheep are doing it because they're bored, but like the reindeer and the ants and orcas and stuff, they do it because it's, either to protect themselves or another thing like communication, which is it's all very cool and interesting. So yeah, like if you want to look more into it, like I said, swarm behavior, super weird, super over my head, but that they get into like the things that the swallows do. If you've ever seen like swallows, like the birds doing like those like crazy looking like moving clouds of like I don't even know how to describe it.
Those are crazy. Yeah,
it's crazy. I see it in the summer when I drive into work in the morning. It's just like it's nuts looking. Yeah, so sources that I used: PBS, ScienceAlert.com, DansPearCatCare.com, In the Know, Indian Express, Merck Manual, and ABC from Australia.
Nice. All right, Wanderers, thank you so much for listening to another Foolish Wanderers podcast. If you have any suggestions for any future episodes, please feel free to email us at fwplisteners@gmail.com.
And as always, new episodes of the FWP are released weekly from wherever you get your podcast from, including this place that you're listening to it right now. And if you'd like to help support us, obviously the best way is by listening, which you just did. Yay! But if you'd like to help us out a little bit more, we'd really appreciate it if you would consider leaving us a 5-star review.
Yes. All right, Wanderers, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.